Hi, today it's Taxis Chronicles. I'm your host, Simon Rushton. We have a lady in our taxi on this fresh afternoon, you could say, and she's going to tell us about how the fashion industry is affected by the coronavirus. Over to you.
Yes, hi there. So I guess I work for a fashion publication company and been asked to answer some questions whilst on my ride home. So yeah.
Okay, so tell us a bit about the fashion industry, how it works, and then we can go on to how this coronavirus has affected the fashion industry from obviously manufacturing to the finished product in, let's say, the Western world or in London.
Yeah, so we all know how the fashion industry works. A lot of it has recently been moved online, so we know a lot of stores that were actually struggling as they were, especially high street retailers. A lot have been sort of, even Topshop and the whole Arcadia group have been sort of in the talks of going to administration, and a lot of stores are struggling as it is. So it is quite a big hit on the fashion industry, the coronavirus. We obviously, all high street retailers are now closed. A lot of online stores are also stopping their delivery. So I know Net-a-Porter have recently, a couple of days ago, they've announced that they were going to pause their actually e-commerce site. So that's their only kind of source of income. So it's quite big. So it's definitely affecting everyone in the fashion industry, starting from manufacturers. For example, Italian manufacturers, coronavirus is quite big in Italy. It's developed massively over there, and there's a lot of manufacturers who are being affected, and pretty much all around the world. So I think there's no one who hasn't been affected in the fashion industry.
So I heard on the news today that China's kind of got their act together and everyone's back out,
Yeah.
and they're starting to manufacture masks and various other things. So soon, I understand they start exporting things back around the world to whatever places. Do you reckon it will take a long time for the fashion industry to recover?
Well, we were actually talking about it at work just today, how everyone's now looking over to China because they're sort of coming out of the lockdown, and they're slowly recovering. So everyone's saying how Westworld will look over to the east to see what they're doing, how the economy has been affected, and yeah, everyone's going to be looking at China. We're going to do a couple of pieces on it just to monitor, because a lot of big players as well in Europe, they need to know, they want to plan ahead to see how long it's going to take them to recover, what the buying situation, what shoppers are shoppers even going to look to buy after all of this. Are they going to have more or less disposable income? So it's all of these factors that are good to know, and at the moment it is primarily China who are in the stage of recovering.
You mentioned about a lot of companies not wanting to do deliveries to home, but Amazon's still going on strong for what they can get. What would you say is the difference between Amazon and the local high streets that do deliveries as well? Why Amazon has the ability to carry on and muscle through, which is actually keeping a lot of people at home happy, because they can look forward to their parcel, they can start doing their new hobby or whatever they got to do for the next 2 weeks to 3 months or whatever it is you've got to stay indoors. What would you say is the difference?
I guess, there's a lot of talk about it online. Is it right that they're still doing deliveries? Because there's only so much you can do to prevent your workers from getting the virus, and there's only so many measures you can put into place. So I guess it depends on what they're doing to keep their employees safe, and if it's enough, and it is up to them on whether they are willing to continue or not. And we don't really know what happens behind the closed doors and what they're doing to prevent the spread of the virus. But there are companies who have said, no, sorry, we would like to keep our employees safe. And it's parcels. So many people, they come from anywhere in the world. A lot of people touch them, and it's been said that the virus can live on surface for a couple of hours. So I don't know. I think it's every company's own decision, so it's really hard to say really what's making them different.
I'm not an expert, but I would have thought even if the boxes outside of packaging was contaminated from the temperature changes in the plane, in the cargo hold, and I've worked on the ships, and especially the temperature changes on the vessels, that's probably going to be dead or whatever by the time it gets to there. And then Amazon, I've seen before, like on How Is It Made, they have like robotics where there's like a crane, like a port crane, it just grabs the parcels from whatever shelves, and then the delivery guy just gets it, and most of the time they just drop it at the door. They don't even, they don't hand it to you per se. Most of the time. So
again, I guess it really depends on the company. If Amazon do have the resources to continue with delivering them, we all know how hard it is these days to get a delivery. I was looking for a little stand for my laptop to work from home today, and I think IKEA, the first delivery was like 16th of May. Amazon, even there was barely anything on Prime that would be delivered in the next couple of days. Argos was out of all laptop stands, so it depends on what they can do, because obviously if Amazon were to stop, it would put everyone in a trickier position, because they're just so big and they deliver so much, and they deliver food, you can get anything from Amazon. So if they were to stop, it would be a massive effect on everyone. And we always hear from even the Prime Minister's speeches, do as much shopping as you can online. So I guess they are possibly even encouraged to stay operating, but yeah, I'm sure they do everything they can in order to prevent the spread. But yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. With deviate slightly.
Yeah.
Do you feel that McDonald's, Kentucky, and what's the other brand? There's another brand. I think it's Domino's Pizza or Pizza Hut. They should have stayed open.
Nando's?
Yeah, Nando's, thank you, Nando's. Yeah, they should have stayed open. And why I say this is, as an Uber guy myself, and I know Uber Eats has taken a hit.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend, for instance, she has a number of properties, and she says she rents rooms to room, not the whole block of flats, it's just rooms. And she said her tenants were ordering like Deliveroo and Uber Eats constantly, and that kept them indoors. And now, you're getting these long queues because people are forced to have to try to cook for themselves, where it could have been easy for that delivery. So what would you say about that?
Again, it's really hard to say what's right and what's wrong in this situation. There's the aspect, what you just said, a lot of people are relying on it as their only, not only source, but the most convenient and safest source of food. But then for the staff, having to work, if I was working at the McDonald's, Nando's, I'm not sure how I would feel if my employer would sort of be like, oh no, we're staying open. But when you're always in contact with different people, and it's really hard to say what's right and what's wrong. I get what you're saying, and I get that point of view, but then there's another point of view where you kind of have to think about the safety of your staff as well. So I'm really on the fence on that one. I can't even take a side.
I saw a clip from a I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term go-go girl. It's like a stripper, Jamaican version of a stripper. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And she was there prancing around in her matching like Lee Soloron, let's say bra and knickers or swimsuit, whatever you call it. But then she had the mouthpiece on, which was to match.
Yeah.
So do you think there's going to be a big fashion trend in these face masks with brand names on and things like that?
I mean, I can see a couple of brands, to be honest, going ahead and designing. I'm sure there must be something on the market already, but
you can get flags. You can get like Jamaica. I know the Caribbean have done them. They've got Jamaica, Trinidad, Tobago, Grenada, and all of those.
Yeah, I guess again you have to be really careful because it is a very sensitive subject. I mean, there are people dying all over the world. So you kind of have to be really sensitive as well, because there could be people who could pick it up and view it from a completely different side, is that these fashion houses or brands are trying to profit from a quite sad cause. So it's also a PR thing. So again, quite tricky. I can see some brands doing it, but you have to, but you have to be extreme. I mean, Carnival is in August. So you have to be really careful. But yeah.
It'd be like the equivalent to remember the mobile phone case that you could change?
No. No.
Right, there was age is showing here. There was a time where all the mobile phones could clip off the faces and the back, and then you could have your favourite character, let's say he's into Pokemon or whatever, all those kind of things. So it'd be a trend like that in that sense, which could appeal to young people, because it's something that needs to appeal to all age groups when you think about it, from the very old to the very young, to even down to argumentatively the toddler, the baby. And if you can have something happy on there, then like my son had his t-shirt today, poor world, or poor some dogs, poor I can't remember what it is, his mum was telling me, but I was meant to be really impressed with his t-shirt, so I did what I was told. But there's just that fashion trend. I think there's something big that the fashion can grip with this, the fashion world can grip with this, and make it. And I think there's also be a big rise in crime, because now if everybody has to cover their face, you're going to see all the hoodie guys and girls who want to cause problems, who run around and say, "Wasn't me." Prove it.
I think a lot of countries have already sort of reported on the rise of crimes in their countries. Could be because of that, but also it is leaving a lot of people unemployed as well. So we'll see how that develops, but hopefully it will not get too far.
So time will tell in all aspects.
Yeah,
really.
because it's really difficult. Nobody knows what's going to happen, and it's just kind of developed so fast. So sort of take it as it is.
Well, thanks for the interview.
No,
much appreciated.
Thank you
for supporting the cause, and we will send you our link for your episode at Taxi Chronicles, which is on Spotify and iTunes. Is that iTunes? And the various other podcast platforms. Thanks a lot.